Okay, so it says, let me write this down. You've got 60 people in total. 60 people were asked whether they liked rugby, football or cricket. Now, before we go any further, how many sets do we have here?
7.
3, isn't it? Because they either like rugby, they like football or they like cricket. Technically it's 4 because they could like neither as well. Okay? So we're going to have 3 circles to represent each of the individual sports. Okay, so let's say that's football, that's rugby, that's cricket, and then we also need the universal set as well. Okay? You're happy why it's 3 sets? It has to be 3 sets. So either they like rugby, football, or cricket. That's 3. Then you also need the universal set around the outside as well. Okay, now let's have a look at this. I'm going to write this down on the right-hand side. So what have we got? 8 people like all 3. All 3 sports. Okay? So therefore, where's that 8 going to go?
In the middle.
In the middle. It has to go in the middle there, where all 3 sets overlap. There's 8 people in there. We have 17 people who like rugby and football. So like rugby and football. Notice the notation I'm using there, okay? Because remember, the intersect is the overlap. Those are the people that like rugby and football, okay? I'm just going to write this information down. So like rugby and football. 13 people like football and cricket.
19 is rugby and cricket.
Rugby and cricket.
35 like football.
Just like football, okay? Or for like
27,
football.
27 like cricket.
Like cricket.
And 30 like rugby.
Okay, like rugby. So our task is to fill in this Venn diagram given this information, okay? We've already filled one number in, it's 8. Let me do it in blue so it's a little bit easier to see. It's 8. 8 must go there. So we basically, as we go through, let's tick them off. So we've done that one. Right, now we know 17 people like rugby and football. Where is that sort of portion on my Venn diagram?
On the top.
Okay, so rugby and football, so if they like both, they've got to be standing in this overlap.
Yeah.
Now just bear in mind that that's got to also include the 8 as well. Because those people like rugby and football, the fact they like cricket as well, yeah, but they like rugby and football as well, okay? So therefore, this overlap has got to be 17.
Plus, yeah.
There's got to be 17 people standing in this overlap here, okay? So if there's 8 there already, how many people are going to stand there?
Oh, so it's 11. Wait, 8 plus. Oh, sorry.
It's going to be 9, yeah? Does that make sense to everyone? Because that's quite subtle, but it's really important, okay? So because it says 17 people like rugby and football, okay, that's also including these 8 people that like rugby, football and cricket. Okay, because they like rugby and football as well. Yeah? Okay, good. What about this one? 13 people like football and cricket. So where's that going to go?
To the left.
Okay, so football, cricket, that's the overlap there. So we know 13 people have got to be standing in this overlap here. So what's going to go there where my finger is? 5, good. Okay, then we know 19 people like rugby and cricket. So where's that got to go? So rugby, cricket, it's that overlap there. So what's going to go there? 11, perfect. So there we go, okay? Then we go through and we say, right, 35 people like football. 35 people have got to stand in the football circle. How many people are already standing in that football circle?
17, 5, so that's like 20, 22.
5, 8 and 9? That's got to be 22. How many people do we need standing there? 35, so it's got to be 13 standing there. Cool. Okay? We now know 27 people are going to be standing in the cricket circle. So here's my cricket circle. How many people are already standing in the cricket circle?
24.
Good. So how many people are left to stand in just this one? 3. Good. And then how many people have got to stand here? So 30 people like rugby.
2.
9, 8, 11. Is it 2? Yeah. Now always do a quick check. Always do a quick check. What have all of these numbers got to add up to? They've got to add up to 60. Let's do a quick check. 13 plus 9 plus 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 7 plus 3. What is it? 51.
13 plus 9 plus 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 11
I think it is.
51.
Probably.
51.
It is 51. Perfect, Megan. You're on the ball. So how many people don't like any sports?
9.
Names. They've got to go on the outside. Make sense? Good.
So we don't make any mistakes. We need to start with the intersections.
I would start with intersections because if you started at the other end, 30 people like rugby, you were like, well, okay, I know there's 30 people standing in this circle, but I don't know whether they're standing there, 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 or there. There's 4 positions where they could stand. Okay? I would always start with the intersection. If you can start off with the intersection of all 3 sets, that's the best place to start. And then you can work from there. All good? You notice the way which the question is worded. In this case, it was quite kind to you because you could actually just go through them in order from top to bottom. Sometimes they might give it to you in a slightly odd order. So sometimes you might say, well, actually, that doesn't help me, so I need to move on to the next one. Okay? So sometimes they might not give you them in the order which you need. Okay? Now, let me ask you a part B then. Can you find me the probability that somebody likes, that somebody does not like rugby? Okay? So somebody's picked at random, one of these 60 people picked at random. Can you find me the probability that this person does not like rugby?
Not like rugby. 3 plus 5 plus 13 over 60.
Which is?
7 over 20.
Does not like rugby. So 13 plus 5 plus 3 plus 9.
5 plus.
So these people don't like rugby, these people don't like rugby, these people don't like rugby, and these people don't like rugby. Yeah? Basically, it's the people not standing in the rugby circle.
Over 60. 1 over 2.
Good, because it's 30 over 60. There's 30 people not standing in the rugby circle, which comes out as a half. Good. Does that make sense? So this is a typical question which could come up in an exam. They give you a set of information, get you to draw a Venn diagram. In reality, it's probably going to be a 3-1. Yeah, it's going to be 3 sets, which you need to deal with. And then they'll ask you a probability based on this. Is that okay?